I think that probably the work that we did in Demon Hand was probably the most risky writing we did in terms of alienating fans. I sometimes don't like those kind of big homage-y types of things, and I remember when I walked into the writer's room and they had this weird like cat swallow the canary kind of look, and I'm like, Josh, guess what? We're gonna have her in a cop outfit. It's gonna be like T2, and she's gonna have the sunglasses and the helmet and the whole thing. I was like, really? But I really like it just because she looks so cool.
I thought it turned out very well. It was really fun to see her dressed like that.
I did have a lot of fun with that opening sequence, and of course I remember Robert Patrick. I wanted to wear those exact sunglasses, and the perfect mirrored pair were men's glasses, and I couldn't actually keep them on my head, so we had to pin them on, but I was determined I was going to wear that pair because they matched his perfectly. We wanted it to look just like Robert Patrick. I even exaggerated my movements to be more like his, how stoic and still and deliberate. It was really fun.
She actually had to get those clothes from somebody. So even before the episode really starts, there's a great dramatic question about, oh my gosh, how did she get those clothes?
And somewhere in the city, a naked cop bleeds in an alley.
We here at the TV show are taking the source material and responding to it as writers, as creative people, and emotionally, and as fans. Adding in the backstory about the adoption papers was probably the one thing that potentially violates the canon. And I think it's an idea that we liked in a TV sense, and meaning that you have to add layers to the characters and you have to uncover more things about them as you go.
We were re-examining her time at Pescadero, and the question came up, what were the circumstances? She may have reached the point where she thought the best thing for my son is for me to let him go. And then, of course, immediately regretted making the decision. That sequence of events was beautifully portrayed in the movie. We took that as a basis for this episode, and we just went beyond it. To me, that's a legitimate thing to do, to try to fill in, the cracks in terms of the characters' backstories and their character motivations.
They will kill everyone you love and everyone you hold close, and there is nothing you can do about it. If you're going to play a mother to somebody, you need to have some kind of connection mentally.
I think one of the main things that fuels how I play this role is his interaction with Sarah. The strongest thing about the relationship is being able to communicate without words, just with looks. And I think that was there in the film, and I think it's there in the show.
She has got this very real issue in her life, which is she gave birth to someone she wasn't ready for, and also happens to be the savior of the world.
John watching that tape is very important, and I think that the reason for that is that no matter how hard Sarah is on him, or how tough she is, or not loving in the normal sense, he kind of excuses all these things because at the root of it all, he knows that she would do anything for him, and she lives and breathes for him, and that bothers him half the time. He feels guilty, and then half the time it feels, fulfills his life. So I think when he sees that, it's kind of, now there's nothing.
They wanted to adopt me.
I'm sure your mom would have died before she let that happen.
Yeah, you'd think.
I think that that's a horrible blow to him, and it really pushes him into the realm of Derek.
Derek Reese doesn't know anything about anything, but he's able to relate to John in terms of what has happened in his life.
For John, his world on a daily basis is being turned upside down, and he's being forced to question every relationship he has. I mean, he had to question his relationship with his mom and the fact that she would give him up. The closest thing he's ever had to his father is now in his life, and he has this man to look to now, to help him, and it's a big shift and a change for him. Trust the machine.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron. What a joke. Walking around with a name like it's a person. It's not a person. It's not something you should be trusting.
His sense of importance is already threatened by having these two women take care of everything for him, but somehow he was still the only male in the house.
And then it's all just kind of forced on you. It's like, yeah, here's Uncle Derek now. He's gonna sleep on the couch. He's gonna tell you what he knows as far as saving the world. Good luck, kid.
The day you came for me, I was coming for you. I'll always find you.
I'll always find you.
That's the key, you know, to her, is that she's deeply in love and committed to her son as a person, not even just because he's the potential savior of mankind. She loves him as a mother loves a son.
As much as this is a coming-of-age story for John, John needs to understand that Sarah's made mistakes and she still can be his mom and he can still love her.
Even through the hardest things, they get through it, and yet I think she has changed a little in John's eyes, not by much.
There was a time I was a hero to my son. He thought I walked on water. He knows better now.
Agent Ellison.
Yeah. I got LAPD property on the line.
You're asking about a hand?
One day, Josh just came to me and he just said, you know, I've been thinking about, you know, making your character a Christian. What do you think about that? I don't know how it hit him because I didn't talk to him about it, but he thought it would be an interesting contrast. Beware of false prophets.
You a man of the book?
It has brought me comfort at times.
You're confronted with robots from the future and the apocalypse, and you know, how does that affect you? And does it challenge your faith? Does it confirm your faith?
Ellison is a very interesting character for us because it shows the journey of a normal individual trying to understand the evidence from the war with machines.
I really enjoyed the kind of the biblical references dealing with the book of Revelations. That is the absolute turning point for Agent Ellison.
Well, if what you're saying is true, Sarah, surely there would be some evidence.
His character, after having certain experiences, his belief system has changed. So now I'm looking at things differently. I'm seeing things differently. Things are happening that aren't supposed to be happening, although she said it would happen. Then when I find this hand, it just kind of triggers everything that she said, everything that she did, everything, and then she was gone. What's great about it is she revived me in a lot of different ways because I was just kind of just going through the motions, and then she awakened that eagerness to succeed and that desire to solve.
Where is it?
She took it.
Who? Sarah Connor. She took it.
It illustrates that if a character came in contact with something that is extraordinary, that person would not relinquish their personal beliefs in God. In fact, they would probably rely on those beliefs even more so.
That moment of Sarah reaching out past the fire, he realizes, I'm in this now. I've got to keep searching. I thought I was almost done, and now I'm just beginning.
Sarah Connor is someone who believes in the value of each individual. Everybody's life is important. So while having Ellison in pursuit of her again does not help her, she can't let him go. She has to save him.
Not only does she need to teach John to survive, she needs to teach him to survive well, and she needs to teach him that humans are worthy. And I think you can't do that by letting people burn up, you know, in a fire, no matter what the consequences may be for you.
No!
You have taken ballet before.
No.
Remember, dance is the hidden language of the soul.
Obviously, one of the reasons we put ballet in is because we knew Summer was a prima ballerina, and I always thought, you know, having a Terminator do ballet is a really cool idea.
Step of the cat.
Will you show me?
The idea that these Terminators are getting closer and closer to being human was something that I really liked. And I thought, can that episode build to a point where when you're watching her dance, you're thinking, oh my God, that's beautiful. I'm so creeped out by it.
I love that she's the student and she's the vulnerable one. And then in the end, she just coldly turns and walks out. I loved being able to show what Cameron's capable of at both ends of the spectrum.
Who are you? You're just a girl. How did you do that?
I'm looking for your brother.
You have to remind people that Terminators are scary and will do anything. And I think we get there because of the voiceover, we get there because of Derek's reaction.
You might have fooled them, but not me. I know you.
I know you too.
Conceptually, a fantastic idea to have Derek Reese, knowing how he feels about these robots and what the future holds, to see him watching this robot affecting something so human and so moving.
Sarah's monologue, I think, is probably my favorite one in the whole series, and makes me cry when I really think about what's worth fighting for in life, the things that bring us joy and comfort as humans. A robot can never understand.
People watch it and think Derek was just crying over the beauty of the moment or how far the Terminators have come. But there's just so much more than that to him. He knows Cameron. He's experienced her before. Not a model like her, her.
That moment between Cameron and Derek is heartbreaking.
I think that was the emotion of it for him. Do the machines take over but then live as people? How far is this gonna go? What world do I live in?
This episode represents what we're trying to say.
The Demon Hand elevates the stakes for the season by showing that Cameron has an agenda of her own. We also see that she can have an amazing negative effect on Derek. When Derek sees her dancing and starts to get teared up, we see that there's an enormous pain and rage.
It's one of my favorite episodes because it's just, it has that wonderful balance of the beauty of things and the horror of things.